And folks, there we have it. The first week of NBA free agency wrapped up. We got just a bit to talk about here on episode 6 of Game Time Chat. A couple of things, to start with. We'll get more into it, but with free agency, Tatum, man, he signed a crazy max extension, and it looks like he's there for the long haul there in Boston. We'll see if that breaks up maybe this year after they lose to Philly. But to start off lightly, the Lakers welcome their 2 rookies that they drafted, Dalton Connect and Bronny. A couple of things to mention from that press conference, just like you could assume, they were pestering Bronny with, questions involving his dad, what has he said to him? What has he learned from him over the years, et cetera, et cetera. And Bronny, he the one thing that he said, and it really stood out to me, was his dad has always drilled being coachable to him. And that's important. Like I said, or I have said, the kid, his ego seems like it's in check. And him just wanting to be out there, make a name for himself, what it seems like, and, really wants to be coachable. That's not bad at all. And, and he said basically like it wasn't his main focus to play with his dad. The media is going to keep harping on that concept of LeBron being his dad, but it's honestly obviously there's pros and cons to it. Like the con, you're going to be hearing this shit for the rest of his career, probably, because you're going to have people questioning whether or not he deserved to be here. And he undoubtedly deserved to be here. And I think he's going to really show everybody soon. And then of course the pro, like you get to learn from the GOAT, from one of the greatest to play the game. I feel like he downplays it a little bit, but I think it's also kind of necessary for him and what he's trying to do. But honestly, like he should just lean into it. Again, with nepotism, that shit is everywhere. It's all over the NBA and every level, from the front office to coaching to the players. He's not the first and he's not going to be the last. And then, of course, in regular life, like it happens everywhere. It just so happens that he's been under this microscope because he's LeBron James's son. And we've been watching him play basketball his whole freaking life. But he said, a couple things he wants to work on is creating his own shot and being more aggressive. He really takes pride in his defense. And again, Pelinka, he stressed that, he's going to be a point of attack guy, there. He feels like he can guard multiple positions on defense. Height wise and relation to just NBA height, no, he's not the biggest guard. But I honestly, no, you don't see too many people like keep growing after they turn, 18, 19. But I'm like, shit, Dennis Rodman did. He grew a bit after high school. And I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the next couple of years pan out. And then, Dalton just really giving roses, I feel like, to JJ Redick, just acknowledging that, he really studied him when he was in college. Him and his coach used to work on, breaking down film, and, him working on some of those things that JJ Redick did, as far as like, shooting off the cut, shooting off the screen, shooting off the catch. And of course he can shoot off the dribble too. But like I said before, I think Dalton, he's an absolute 3-level scorer. I think he's low key a dog, and he's ready to get to work. Talk about somebody that's gonna make a splash here in the summer league. I think it's gonna be Dalton. Honestly, I think Dalton might even have a better outright performance than Bronny, to be honest. And that's no knock on Bronny. I think Dalton is cold. And he just has more, he can offer more of a wow factor because all eyes are already on Bronny. Even though he was a first round pick, it's like more questions were being thrown at Bronny than Dalton, to be honest, in my opinion. I don't know. But yeah, Bronny definitely, he's seen what everybody has said on the internet, and, saying that they don't think he deserves the opportunity. But I honestly, I think that's bullshit. The kid can play. I think he's going to show everybody. Will it ever be enough? I don't know. That we don't know, but that's something his dad has had to deal with his entire career. Is it enough? And honestly, it's never enough. I mean, it's enough for me, but for what it seems like to the world, nobody is satisfied with what LeBron James has brought to the game of basketball or just out there to the community. It's not enough. It's never enough. So no, I don't think Bronny will ever be able to do enough to really prove to people that he truly deserves to be here, because I think even when he does kind of establish himself as like a go-to guy and he's, a hands down starter in the league, there's probably still going to be people there saying, he wouldn't even be in the league if it wasn't for his dad, like he wouldn't have even been drafted. And there were teams that were looking to draft him earlier than what the Lakers took him at. So that tells you everything you need to know right there. It was not because of his dad. Other teams were interested in him too. Of course, you had the threat from Rich Paul talking about he was going to go play overseas if somebody drafted him before the Lakers could, which is just crazy. But, yeah, so that's that. But again, good luck to him. Wish him well. Hope he's healthy, remains healthy, and has a good summer league debut. The Pistons. God dang, the Pistons. We signed a few dudes, some undrafted rookies. We got a second round player. Honestly, not even worth talking about. The Pistons, they fucking suck. I'm so tired of them. We did hire a head coach, JB Bickerstaff, so that is news. I don't hate the guy. Now the Cavs did fire him. Why? I don't know. Especially after getting them to the playoffs, a couple of times. But I think he's a good coach. What is he going to do with this Pistons roster? I have no idea. I think we're just setting him up for failure, to be honest. We don't have shit. We have no pieces. I take that back. We got Cade Cunningham. I like Cade. And then we just signed Tobias Harris. I like Tobias. Why though? I can't tell you. Like, I mean, I guess maybe he's just the one person that was willing. Tobias isn't bad, but it's like, he's not about to turn around the franchise. Is he going to help develop some of these other guys? Honestly, I have no idea. We got one person who can somewhat shoot on the team, Cade Cunningham. The rookie, Sure Thompson, he can't shoot for shit. And then the rookie we just got, I guess he's not rookie no more, I'm sure, but, the rookie we just got, Ron Holland, you already know he can't shoot for shit. So what are we doing? We got one dude on offense who can shoot. Our center, fucking Isaiah Stewart, is the second best shooter. Like, let that shit sink in. And you see his behind. He's wild. But that's all I gotta say about them. We'll see the rest of the offseason and, with Summer League, how that goes. I expect a couple of those guys. I expect a couple of those guys to be on the Summer League roster because they still need some work, but who knows? Who knows what they'll do? In regard to free agency, PG-13, my man caught a flight to Philly and they hooked him up with a 4-year, $212 million contract. And on top of that, they extended Tyrese Maxey to a 5-year, $204 million max extension. If healthy, and that's a big if. But if they're healthy, these 76ers give Boston some work. Hands down. Because nobody can guard Joel Embiid. No one, period. So you take a healthy Philly roster and you put it up against a healthy Boston roster, and that's even with KP. I'm still taking Philly. So at this point, I got Philly coming out of the East. Boston didn't face one full squad the whole playoffs. Now, obviously, once they got to, the finals, they kind of showed, they had their foots on their throats for sure. But at that point, the Mavs look like the JV team out there. Low key, their stars weren't showing up. The role players, who knows how they helped them get through the freaking West and get to that damn point. I have no idea. But they got rid of a couple of those guys and they brought in Klay Thompson. What was that, 3 years for $50 million? And he had some 4-year offers, for more money from other teams too. And that's something to note. But He wants a chance to win another chip. I respect that. But the fact of the matter is he is not about to get that shit out there in Dallas. Absolutely not. After seeing what they did this year, they finally got there, and that's the performance they put up. And I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie, but it ain't it. They're not coming out the West next year. Of course, just like every team or, any team outside of the Pistons, they're all getting better. They're signing guys, their draft picks, they're making roster moves and trades. They're all getting better. Adding Clay helps. All those shots that, Luka was finding the dudes who are sitting there open and, you got Derrick Jones Jr. chucking it up, brick. That'll be Clay. So Clay's going to get some looks for sure, but it's just, that's not what takes him over the hump. It's not. OKC got Hartenstein from New York, 3 years for $87 million. That's going to be nice. That's a nice pickup right there. He's going to help that damn roster. They probably will come back and be number one again in the West. Do they make it out of the West? I don't know, man. That West is stacked. It's tough. I don't know. You got to see what else Golden State does. They're on the freaking on a downtrend. That's the best way I can put it. Golden State is not on the up and up. They are not out there for dubs. They used to be Dub City. I don't know what they are now, but they added Buddy Hield, a once prolific scorer, I would say. He still can shoot. He still got a nice jump shot. We'll say battled injury the last couple of years. Hasn't really had a full season in a few years, but if there's a place where he can, I think, make a home for himself, shit, he's back up north, But yeah, making a home for himself, a place where he can really shoot, probably have a green light. I think Golden State is a great place for him, basically. I do. I think that's a good fit for him. I think he'll be able to play well with Steph. I think that takes a little bit of a load off of Steph as well. And who knows? maybe they do make a push in the West. I don't think so. I don't even think they finish above the Lakers, and a lot of people are down on the Lakers. I'm not one of them, but just for what it's worth, I don't think they finish above the Lakers because a lot of people still got the Lakers as a playing team. So I say all that to say, Golden State ain't making the playoffs last year as the roster stands right now. They're not. With the Cavs, speaking of them and us getting their coach, Donnie Mitchell, that man, 3 years, 153 max. He's good. He's really good. Are they going to win a championship? No. Is he going to take them out of the East and go to the finals? No. Are they going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals? Hell no. I know you got to start somewhere and you got to bring in more people, but what's the move? Like, is Donovan Mitchell, is he out here to win or is he out here just to get the bag? Because at this point, I feel like it's just to get the bag. Because I feel like if he seriously wants to win, you leave Cleveland. They got a nice young piece in Evan Mobley. You got Darius Garland, who's, all the rumors with the drama, him being traded, whatever. Why sign that deal? If you want to win, if the goal is win. I feel like there's other teams in the East that still, even without him, have a better shot. Shit, Miami. I'll take Miami over Cleveland today. Jimmy Butler, you already know what he's about. And he's the real deal. Donovan, I don't know, man. But we'll see. I will, of course, see, because, again, they are in my damn division. So they'll torch us, but we're talk about JB. We're like the freshman team out there. Like, they just get cooked. The Pistons suck. God damn, they suck. Yeah, they're hard to watch. And then just to, with the Lakers, because I don't think they're a playing team. I think they're at least a 6 seed. They still got to make a couple of moves, but you still got LeBron and AD. Now you add Dalton Connect. D'Lo's back. Bronny. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Bronny, it needs to be the second guard on that team right now. Gabe Vincent is trash. Spencer Dinwiddie, Shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie. That's a Pistons product right there. But bro, they do nothing on the Lakers. They literally came in the playoffs and they were nothing. They don't need to be out there. And honestly, they're crazy guard heavy. So I don't even like the rumors that you're seeing with Darius Garland being tied to a trade with the Lakers. How many guards do they want on that damn roster and why? Now he plays more like a 2, I feel like, not so much like a point guard, but you can argue it's positionless basketball. So it's just, he's just out there. You only got one ball to go around. And I don't know if you want to get rid of Austin Reeves and Rui and maybe some other draft picks for Darius Garland. For what? Now, can that help take the load off of LeBron? Absolutely. But does it translate to wins and ultimately a championship? That's the question, and that's what you got to ask yourself. And I don't think it does. I think it would be great for TV and for LA fans, but I think when the rubber meets the road and it gets down to crunch time and it's playoffs, I think you look back and you regret that. And then of course the years to come when you're looking at the trades or the draft picks, that you lost in the trade, now you're really feeling some type of way because now you can't even bring in any new talent and you got all your money tied. It's just, that's LA because, they have to win now for the fans. They got to win now. We'll see. You never know. That trade may not happen. Maybe they're eyeing something else. Maybe they just stick with what they got, DeRozan, he still hasn't been picked up yet. Is he a shooter? Hell no. But he can still help. He can help defensively and on the offense. And again, just with getting his own shot, taking some pressure off of LeBron and D'Lo and AD at that point. He can do his own thing. And that's like a mini big 3 right there. Because I'm not calling him a superstar. I think he's a star, but I don't think that'd be a big 3. And they could still, maybe they could shoot him a contract his way, offer him a little money. He'd be back home in LA. I don't know. That might be the move right there. Some other notable mentions because a lot of people don't matter. I'm only talking about this just because I mentioned him in the last one. But Jonas Valanciunas, he went to Washington. Talk question marks all over the damn place, bro. They're almost as bad as the Pistons. Why? I know he could have gotten paid somewhere else. I know he could have. He could have been in a better city and on a better team. The hell you want to be in Washington for? With the Wizards? That's trash. It's honestly trash. And then CP3, he signed for a year, $11 million out there in San Antonio with the Spurs. I think that's a great place for him to go ahead and hang it up, to be honest. He can sit up there, hang it up, and then join the coaching staff right next to Pop. That's what he need to do because his time is coming to an end. He needs to wrap it up. Like, somebody get the hook. It's over. It's over. But I do think if there's a place for him to play with his style of basketball that'll definitely work for a team, it's San Antonio. Popovich will probably make this man have a career year if he can stay healthy. Because that's how great Pop is. He's like Mike Tomlin, You could take a guy, but you'll take everything they got and make the most out of them in just a year, You make average guys look great. I ain't calling CP average, but nowadays, yeah, average. That's why he got 11 million. And they throw around money in the league. So that tells you right there, 11 mil. So it's not just me. That's what the teams view too. Okay. So don't get offended. We know CP, that's a great point guard, great all-time point guard, not the greatest. You still got to go through Isaiah Thomas and Magic. So he's not that, but 11 million. That's it. LeBron getting his, new deal with a 2-year, no trade clause, got the player option, 104 million. So basically year to year, he can retire this year if he wants to. He can opt in if he wants to this year. He can opt out if he wants to. We'll see. We will see. And then Boston, rounding out the troops, bringing back that man, Derek White, 4-year, $125.9 million extension. They wanted him back bad, or not back bad, but they wanted to extend him back. They wanted to lock him in. They really think they're about to make another run. That tells you right there, they think they're about to make another run. And I got to tell you, I think Philly got something to say about that. We don't even need to talk about really like Miami or New York, Indiana, all irrelevant. New York is going to be fun to watch regular season. And then depending on who they match up in the playoffs, those series are going to be fun to watch too, just because they got a lot of fun guys who play well together, who have fun when they play well or play together, I'll say in general, pause. And then, of course, it's just exciting to see. And the fans are fucking nuts. So that's also like a different type of entertainment as well for us fans. But on a serious note, no, they're not coming out of the East. They're not beating the fucking Celtics. And I don't think they beat Philly either. I don't. But we'll see what happens next week, over the weekend in general with free agency in the NBA. Oh, how could I forget? The Lakers, my bad. Shout out to JJ Redick. They added a couple coaches to the staff. Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks. That's a part of why I also think, yeah, they're going to be around a 6 seed or so right now as a roster stands. Those are two great coaches, and I think they'll really be of great use to JJ Redick and the Lakers organization. 100%, especially Scott Brooks. They got like damn near 1,200 wins between the two of them as far as coaching goes. Yeah, you need that on your roster, on the bench, on the staff, whatever you want to say. So they'll definitely help with that. In other news, we had Hard Knocks kick off this week. I can't wait for next week's Hard Knocks. And then, of course, as you already know, we are counting down the days to the NFL season. It cannot come soon enough. And I really can't wait to see Russell Wilson play. I really can't. I mean, because I just think about Ben Roethlisberger. So, like, bro, this man, 18 years with us, okay? We drafted him. First round, 11th pick. Steps in as a rookie, wins 13 games, 15-1 overall record for the team, but he went 13-0. Rookie of the year, wins a Super Bowl the next year. But 64,000 total career passing yards, 418 touchdowns, a 6-time Pro Bowler, been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, this man is ranked 5th all time in passing yards. 5th. And there were a couple other I wouldn't say a couple, my bad. Let me rephrase that. There were a couple of other quarterbacks who came out that draft who are big names. One will be a Hall of Famer. The other, I think nothing of him, and I think he's absolutely not a Hall of Famer. Some people might argue that. I don't see how you could. But those other 2 quarterbacks, Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers, obviously you already know between the 2 of those who I think is a Hall of Famer and who I would disagree with. But Ben Roethlisberger, though, 5th all-time in passing yards, 8th all-time in touchdowns, and I mean, 2 Super Bowls. A lot of guys don't get to 1. A lot of guys get to 1 and don't win 1. They never go back. And this man went to 3. To me, he hands down as a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm going to make it my goal to reach out to him and get an interview with him for the podcast. That's my goal. I don't know who I need to reach out to. I don't know who I need to connect with or how, through which freaking form of communication. But I'm going to find a way to get that man and be a part of this show so I can speak with the true GOAT. Watching him play truly was, I mean, for those listening, I don't know who you are a fan of, if you are a fan of the NFL and who your teams are, but as a young man, just growing up, watching one person really play quarterback, you saw the guys in between, right? I mean, before, during, and now after. You had Cordell, Tommy Maddox, the freaking, and I would say I even probably took him for granted, but Charlie Batch, a backup quarterback. Through the years, you got him, Byron Leftwich, Michael Vick, the man, he should have an MVP under his belt, but we don't need to get into that. And then as he gets towards the end of his career, starts dealing with injury, Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph, and you really take these guys for granted. Like you don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when the year is up. You see guys just falling off, right? Because, he was getting old. He's old for a minute. The man played 18 years. And I know when he did retire, I know I didn't want him to. Marquise Pouncey, I didn't want him to retire. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. But truly, me and other Steelers fans were spoiled for years. For years. For almost 2 decades. We were spoiled by that man, Ben Roethlisberger. The defenses that we had, the way that our coaching staff stuck together, the way that ownership kept that intact. We have only had 3 coaches still through 40 years. You have Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. That's it. That's insane. You have teams that go through 3 coaches in 2 years, sometimes 2 coaches in a year. And we've had 3 through 4 decades. Coming up on 5 and shit. Like that is insane. And truly, just truly spoiled. I have no idea what is going to happen this year. I truly don't. What I believe will happen is that Russell Wilson, the 19th all-time passing leader, right, who's still playing, I think he'll win the starting job. And I think he's going to get us a playoff berth. And I think we will be going to the AFC Championship. That is something that I do truly believe. There's literally nothing that anybody could tell me to make me think otherwise. There's no way. I'm never threatened by our division at all. People, I know Lamar Jackson is good. The man, MVPs and all of this good stuff. But like what people don't understand is like, unless you are a fan of a team in the AFC North, you literally just don't fucking get it, because there is no division like the AFC North. There isn't, hasn't, and never will be. Lamar Jackson is 2-4 against the Steelers in his career. And if you went and asked the most casual NFL, they don't have to be a casual. You can ask an NFL fan. They will sit there till they are blue in the face and tell you that Lamar Jackson is better than any quarterback on the Steelers. Absolutely. Because if you don't like the Steelers, you hate the Steelers. Why? I have no fucking idea. But people are high on Lamar Jackson. And he can go and be great against any other team. I don't give a shit. But when he plays against the Steelers, he's garbage. 2-4 against the Steelers. Now, for those who want to go and fact check it, please do, because you got to also understand he's been hurt a couple of times. So that's why that just total number of 6 is that total number. But the thing is, even when he's healthy, 4. It's different when you're playing those division games in the AFC North. It's not like the Ravens versus the Commanders. It's not the Ravens versus the Raiders or the Lions or the Patriots. Things tighten up when it's an AFC North division matchup, period. The Browns are excluded from this entire conversation because they are fucking trash, period. So I say all that to say, out of respect, I'm going to give the Bengals and Joe Burrow the number 1 ranking in the division for this year upcoming. That's who I think will be number 1 in the division. I think we'll split. We typically do split. Like that's normal in the AFC North. We split. Just like the Ravens will split. And Browns, depending on the year, I'd say we typically sweep. This year, I think we'll sweep them. I think the Browns will be last in the division. Steelers second, Ravens third. Will 3 of those 4 make the playoffs like we did this year, right? Because this is the hardest division of football, I'm telling you. Maybe. Depends on the rest of the AFC. but possibly with how the teams are, you really could see all, three of us out there. But that's who I got. Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns. On the AFC East, it's kind of a toss-up. Things have changed a bit since Tom Brady left, since some quarterbacks came in. I've never been a huge fan of Josh Allen. Fantasy-wise, he's all right. He's solid. As an NFL fan to watch, yeah. And of course, when the rubber meets the road, he becomes mediocre. He can't get past that man, Patrick Mahomes. And for that reason, I'm putting them number 2 in their division. I got the Dolphins and then the Bills, then the Jets. And it's going to be close between the Jets and the Bills. The Jets might even overtake that. But I got to see what Aaron Rodgers does this year. He's been, pulling shit out of his ass. So he misses these little days that may or may not matter too much, in the offseason. But what he said, last year, however long ago it was, that you got to be all in. And that's what he is supposed to be, all in. And I'm not seeing all in by him this offseason. So I'm going Dolphins, Bills, Jets, and then the Patriots, because they have been shit since Tom Brady left. With the AFC South, down over there, you got the Texans coming in first place. Yes. Colts second, Jags third, Titans fourth, period. That's it. And then honestly, the AFC West, does it really matter? Does it really matter over there? It doesn't. It doesn't, okay? The Chiefs are first, right? Then it's going to be the Raiders, and then the Chargers, and then the Broncos. The Broncos drop off because they don't have Russell Wilson anymore. And he was not the problem out there in Denver. I promise you he wasn't. So it goes Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos. Those teams, they need to step it up because somebody over there needs to give Patrick a little bit of trouble. Just a little bit. Like, make them work. Make them earn that damn paycheck. They don't. In the NFC East, the division we all love to hate, I don't see the Cowboys taking that division again. I think the Eagles got it. They seem like they're figuring it out this year. They got Saquon Barkley. He finally got out of that hellhole with the Giants. Shout out to Eli Manning. But I think it goes Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and the Giants. The Giants are coming in last in that division. They're on Hard Knocks right now. You see the coach, you appreciate all the hard work from everybody from top to bottom, right? But it ain't enough. They're coming in last place, period. With the NFC North, and this is just, as the roster stand right now, it's probably, then of course you have, preseason, and we'll update. We'll do another ranking later on, but we're going to go, I think it's close between the Lions and the Packers out there in the NFC North. That one's going to be tough, but the Lions just have a little bit more edge, and it's because of that edge rusher. So I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give them taking the division, and then the Packers, and then the Vikings, and then the Bears. I don't think the Bears are going to be shit. I love USC football, but I don't know how Caleb Williams is going to do. I really don't. It's a new system. It's a new style of offense for him that he's not used to. As they all say, the game is so much faster, right? It's so much faster. And the Bears suck. They suck. So, yeah, Bears last. So you got Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears. With the NFC South, Jesus Christ. What a dumpster fire of a division. But you got to rank them. We got the Falcons coming in first, people. Okay, the Falcons are going to take that division. They're going to have a turnaround year. Absolutely. They're going to have a turnaround year. Falcons are going to be taking this division. And then you will have the Saints, the Bucks, and then the Panthers. Another team that just can't seem to fucking figure it out. And then last but not least, a division that we could once used to have argued was almost as competitive as the AFC North, the NFC West. Making up of, these 4 teams, the Niners, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Now, if there could be a team outside of the AFC North that I absolutely hate, I hate watching their games. I hate watching the fucking uniforms. I can't stand them. It'd be the 49ers. I hate the 49ers. I don't want to see them do well at all. I'm still not convinced on Brock Purdy. I think he just got thrown into an absolutely great situation. I think, and this is the most casual fan statement my ass is about to make, but I think I could go out there and throw up 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. You could snap me the ball in shotgun and I toss it outside to CMC, okay, and he'll do the rest. I could throw a little, I don't know about throwing a slant accurately at least, but you just got thrown in the area, a Debo, and he gonna take it all the way, and then you already know Brandon Ayuk. Either way, I say all that to say the 49ers are gonna take that stupid-ass division again. And then you'll have the Rams coming in second, the Cardinals third, and the Seahawks fourth. That's my prediction. And then all in all, the team coming out of the East, or not the East, out of the NFC, we'll say the NFC Championship matchup, I won't say coming out at the moment, but in the NFC Championship, that's probably going to come down to the Eagles and the 49ers. You'll see, or we'll see how teams, because football, it's a long season. You never know, right? Any given Sunday, you have so many games that are decided by like 6 points or less, even when they shouldn't be. It should be a blowout, and it's not. So you just never know. But I think that's what I think. Eagles versus 49ers in the NFC Championship. And then I think what you're going to have, and it's going to be fucking star-studded. It's going to be, gosh, I don't know what year was it when Russell was in the Super Bowl against the freaking Patriots, but it's going to be like that. Okay? And it's going to be star-studded because you're going to have a queen like Ciara in the stands, as well as Taylor Swift. Yup, you got it. It's going to be Steelers versus Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And you already know I'm taking the Steelers in that matchup. Ain't nothing you could tell me to think otherwise. I cannot wait until football season starts. I can't wait. I can't wait to see who's going to be a regular season MVP. I can't wait to see how these Steelers run the ball, the passing, and I know we still are going to make a splash by adding another receiver. I know we are. Mark my words. Maybe it'll be DK Metcalf. Who knows? Maybe Cortland Sutton. Maybe Ayuk finally makes his way over to Pittsburgh. I don't know. But it's going to be a big name. I wouldn't mind Garrett Wilson, but I know New York is not giving him up for nothing. But that's all I got. We'll tune in soon, check out how the rest of free agency goes. See how this offseason is going for football. Check out Hard Knocks on Tuesday. And we'll report back then.